Welcome to Coffs Harbour for this Monday night action in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. The first time the Simulation Rugby League Premiership has been to Coffs Harbour, courtesy of Jai Collins taking his bunnies back home for this final fixture of the regular season and leading his side out onto the park in front of a raucous welcome. The South Sydney Rabbitohs coming off a big defeat, a big win against the Warriors last week, looking to wrap up the minor premiership with a win here tonight and other games to go their way. Meanwhile, for the Brisbane Broncos, it is staring down the barrel of 5 losses in a row if they don't win here tonight. After being the minor premiers in season 1, their season will end here against the Rabbitohs tonight as Liam Ryan gets the game underway. And it's the Broncos going left to right in the first half. And Jackson Allison with ball in hand for the first hit up of the game. So as mentioned, the Broncos suffering a horrid season so far and really looking to build for season 3. Probably at least a week ago they would have started looking towards their new season starting in 2022. But nothing really going their way so far this season. Struggling to find any sort of form and momentum going forward. Going down to the Seagulls last week, 32 points to 18. Only real standout performer was Jordan Ford. An absolute monster on defence, but he finds himself on the bench tonight after suffering a rather inconspicuous injury in that second half performance against the Seagulls. We'll run through those two sides in a moment. As we see the Rabbitohs with their hands on the ball for the first set. They're staying near side through the hands of Ryan. They go to Thomas Mendonca, just underneath us, just short of the halfway line. So what an opportunity here to take the SRL to Coffs Harbour. Giving the fans and the locals an opportunity to really experience what is Rugby League's premier eSport competition. And you never know, we might even inspire some young players to join the SRL one day once they're old enough and mature enough and start their career to be the player in the SRL Premiership. Not a large crowd here tonight at Coffs Harbour. Estimations hovering around about the 9,500, 10,000 mark. But nevertheless, we are honoured to be at such a beautiful stadium. Broncos looking for a win to end their season. And that's not the way they wanted to open the first 5 minutes. Giving away a penalty off the boot of Levi Raymond, and Edwards will find the touchline just outside the Broncos 30. So a couple of changes in both sides, but the biggest change you'd have to say, Jai Collins not only bringing the Bunnies to Coffs Harbour, but also putting himself into the second row for the first time in his career. Some would say it was a forced change after the injury to Jordan Williams. As Collins goes through the middle, his hands on the ball early. Takes it up into the Broncos 10. They're setting it up 9 metres out. They go left this time to Slattery. The big prop forward charging it up to David Hastings, who wraps him up and throws him to the ground. So a couple of metres out here for the Rabbitohs. Ryan on the toe early. Raymond comes through and snaps it up. So a good reading of the play there by Levi Raymond. Getting up early and seeing what Ryan had on the boot as Allison takes it forward, finds Hastings, who's driven back. And they lose it around about 6 or 7 metres there, the Broncos, with that offload. Malachi Bergen starting in the second row here this afternoon. Jake Tuss starting in the number 13 jumper after Jordan Ford was injured, as mentioned last week. This time it's the Rabbitohs who have given away a penalty. Holding down in the tackle too long, says referee Tony Archer. And Bronson Dixon finds the sideline. Around about 38 metres out from the Rabbitohs line. So last week it was the Rabbitohs getting up over the Warriors 28 points to 6. 2 tries to Chaz Dingo. Meanwhile, Viggo Rasmussen, 22 runs for 154 metres, has been the Rabbitohs' standout second rower this season and continues to show why he is pushing contention for Kiwis jumper as Tuss gets the ball centre field, setting it up for the Broncos around about 5 metres out. So a good opportunity here for the Brisbane side as they go Dixon, a flat ball. Dixon fighting towards the line, in fact, held up by Rasmussen, but Dixon thinks he's got it down. So a good charge up the middle by Bronson Dixon after scoring last week for the Broncos. Looks to have gone in once again after he hadn't scored his entire career, and he's gone in for a second try. The Broncos out to an early lead here at Coffs Harbour. Levi Raymond sends it through. Back with the kicking duties tonight after Bronson Dixon held the tee the last couple of rounds. So back underway here at Coffs Harbour. Liam Ryan sends the ball deep down to the Broncos line, and once again it's Jackson Ellison, the Kangaroo skipper, who brings it forward into contact. Looked like it was Lennox Prakash and Jai Collins who took him down. Simon Hunt takes up the second hit up, this time Raymond to Scott. So the Broncos changing up their lineup slightly. Pete Veretto retains the number 1 jumper. Sam Hodgson on the bench, and the number 14 jumper set to come on very soon, in fact. Sean Walker and Joey Kelly on the wings. Joey Kelly announcing he will be off to the Parramatta Eels in season 3. Broncos losing their skipper of the last 2 seasons, as once again Levi Raymond has given away a penalty. Broncos not doing themselves any favour at the moment. Good performance from Isaac Edwards last week for the Rabbitohs. He finds himself back in the starting lineup with Jai McCartney moved to the number 13 jumper.
2 on the keep going. He's held there. Clear him now.
Came off the bench at the 60-minute mark against the Warriors last week, and Rabbitohs only had a 6-point lead when he came on, and he really inspired a second half performance with an assist, a try, and 4 line breaks as they come to Edwards this time. He gives a long cutout pass to Dingo, threatening on the line, taken down to good tackle by Levi Raymond. About 6 metres out here, the Rabbitohs, as Ryan puts it high, not a high kick. Coming down for Lennox Prakash, and the big prop forward from South Sydney has put it down. And they have hit back after that mistake from the Broncos. And Lennox Prakash goes in for his first try in the SRL. It's been a long time coming for the big second rower. Rumours circulating he could have been off to the Warriors early in the week. As Ryan puts the kick forward, no problems there for the Bunnies, number 6. And we are locked up 6-all after just under 15 minutes in this one. So as mentioned, Lennox Prakash, rumours were that he was off to the Warriors earlier on this week, but he made a late U-turn and he has signed with the Brisbane Broncos for season 3. So coming up against his future club here tonight and scoring against his future club, in fact, and that'll be a good sign for the Broncos going in to next season. Broncos, one of the sides who are making quite a few changes and bringing in quite a few new players. Jack Spillane coming from the Panthers, as well as Lennox Prakash. They also bring in Corey Parker from the Panthers and Tyson Payne from the Manly Seagulls. One of the big signings for the Broncos is arguably their top signing, as Veretto makes a good break up through the middle. Doesn't quite have the speed on Dingo, taken down just short of the halfway line. But the Broncos have signed Cherry Evans from the Cowboys, and they've also signed Sam Herman from the Manly Seagulls. So it'll be interesting to see who takes that fullback spot for the Broncos next year. It's been a position they have struggled with over the past couple of seasons. Season 1 it was Mark Iron and Sam Hodgson who sort of locked down that fullback role, along with Connor Sanderson. Sorry, it wasn't Connor Sanderson, that was this year. But Hodgson hasn't really had a role in it, as Moscow makes a break through the middle. Feeble defence on that left edge for the Broncos, and Moscow is going to run the length of the field for the Bunnies and go in under the post for the Rabbitohs' second try. And they go bang bang here at Coffs Harbour as the crowd are up on their feet, and that's a great return from Luka Moscow. He has been known for his length of the field tries, and that's his second of the season. And so the Rabbitohs take the lead for the first time, with Ryan to add the extra 2. And what an outlook Ryan has in front of him. These beautifully carved hills here in Coffs Harbour. He sends it through the posts. 12 points to 6, just under 20 minutes gone. Back live here on SRL TV. You're watching the Simulation Rugby League Premiership Round 7 action on Monday night. The Rabbitohs currently sitting in second on the SRL table, in behind the Parramatta Eels on 8 points. They have a plus 47 points differential, where the Eels have a plus 20. So a win here for the Rabbitohs would put them in first position on the ladder. The Eels will take on the Cowboys tomorrow night, while the Broncos currently sitting in 7th, really looking to end their season on a high, as they send the ball down to the wing of Sean Walker, who has to come forward and sort of collects it on the bounce, crouching down to his left. It's Pete Veretto taking it forward, up into the line. They stay short side to Walker once again. Jinks his way off his left and taken down by Liam Ryan. This time it's Jake Tuss charging it forward, one of the Broncos players who will be leaving Brisbane at the end of the season. In fact, he's going to the South Sydney Rabbitohs. So just like Lennox Prakash, you have to say that's a straight swap between those two players. A good kick by Levi Raymond, forcing the ball back, and Tyler Clay lets the ball go over the back of the in goal. A good kick by Levi Raymond with a slight breeze in behind him in this first half. Almost judging that to perfection.
That's one. Move. Hill.
Broncos standout performers this season really comes down to three players: Jordan Ford, Pete Veretto and Joey Kelly.
He's held there. Move.
Jordan Ford and Pete Veretto staying on at the Broncos next season. Jordan Ford in particular, 10 tackle breaks this season, sitting fourth in the competition, while Pete Veretto averaging 111 runs
Forward. Move.
and really is stepping up as one of the Broncos leaders. He's taking over the co-captaincy with Justin Plays in season 3, and a real natural progression for a player like Pete Veretto, who's really developed here in the SRL and asking for more leadership roles as they kick down to Joey Kelly,
Hill. One.
the incumbent,
Release.
bringing it back just short of the Broncos 30.
He's held there. Get off it. I don't want to see any more.
And they're giving away another penalty here, the Rabbitohs. Referee giving a warning, telling Jai Collins that his team could be down to 12 men if that carries on. Dixon finds the sideline. We're at about halfway, just over on the Rabbitohs side. They'll restart. 12 points to 6. It's the Bunnies in front.
One. Release.
Just after 25 minutes here at Coffs Harbour. Cooper Gronk taking it forward. He'll be off to the Cowboys in season 3. One of Chris Lord's big sightings as he looks to build from the ground up at North Queensland.
He's held there.
Along with the Broncos have really struggled so far this season. Jordan Ford up into the Bunnies 10.
Hill.
Looking for their second try here this afternoon, the Broncos. Atchison at dummy half to Raymond. Dixon will put it high. Once again, it's come into contact with one of his players. And for the third time this afternoon, Brisbane will give away a penalty after kicking the ball into one of their own players. Just the communication at the moment in the Brisbane halves. The big fours just seem to be getting in their way and
He's held there.
putting themselves under pressure here. Staying that far side, the Rabbitohs go to Dingo this time. He's had a quiet game so far. Gives it to Clay, who plays the ball. Guys at dummy half. They go to Edwards.
Hill. 3.
To Collins. Charging it forwards, playing in the second row here this afternoon, Jai Collins. They go flat this time to McCartney. 3 Broncos players take him down. About 12 metres out from the Broncos line. Final tackle, O'Hare. Bit of a juggle from Mannering, can't control it. In fact, he picks it up. Charges through a tackle of Atchison. Eventually taken down on the final tackle by Pete Veretto. And that was a good run by Jai Mannering. Almost catching the Broncos out on the final tackle, deciding to run it.
2.
Atchison goes to Raymond, flat ball to Ford.
He's held there. Right. That's
Taken down, a good tackle by Prakash. They go left this time to Bergen. Takes it up into contact, wrestling with the players.
Get back. Look
It's
for
Jai
them.
Collins up over the top. Malachi Bergen coming off the bench for much of season 2 after what many were saying was probably the top performance by a forward in the second half of last season. Malachi Bergen really played well, and he's actually found himself in free agency this past week, yet to be picked up for season 3. So we'll have to wait and see where Malachi Bergen's career goes. But really would be a handy pickup for any side looking for a hooker / second row utility.
He's held there. 3. Back with me.
Isaac Edwards plays the ball short of halfway centre field. They go to Jordan Williams, who's made his way onto the park.
Let him go. Let him go.
Coming off the bench,
4.
here this afternoon after the injury sustained
He's held there. 5.
last week against the Warriors. It was a re-injury of the knee that hampered him a few weeks ago, so he's got that left knee strapped quite heavily
1. Release.
here this afternoon. Kelly takes it down. They've got dummy half. They go to Veretto.
2. Hands away.
Jinks around the first tackle. Eventually taken down by O'Hare. To Raymond. Up into the Bunnies half they go. So 12 points to 6. Counting down 7 minutes until half time. As Jake Tuss gives it to Jordan Ford.
That's tackle 4. Hands off.
Taking it to the line hard. Right this time. Good quick play the ball from Ford. They go to Hunt, who straightens it up.
He's held there. Held. 5.
No real players in support. Had the hands free. Broncos really need to up the intensity here as Dixon puts it long across to the wing of Clay. Clay gets away from one, almost gets away from Veretto, but Veretto just taps him around the ankles, and that's a big tackle from Pete Veretto.
Held.
Jordan
2.
Williams straightening it up. Rabbitohs starting to play with a little bit of fluidity as we close towards half-time Oranges. Mannering, centre field flat, this time to Rasmussen. Averaging 141 metres per game this season, Vigo Rasmussen. Ryan to Dingo, back to Edwards, who dummies one way. Decides to hold it and goes straight forward into the tackle of David Hastings. O'Hare at dummy half. They go flat to Mannering. Mannering open spaces, then kicks it. Pete Veretto picks it up, but Mannering could have gone himself, but decided to put it on the toe. A good run from Jai Mannering.
Held. 2.
Possibly got a little bit flustered after the hole just opened up in front of him. As Hunt flings it in and he's given away to Jordan Williams.
1.
Put his hands up and it's stuck. Williams comes down with it, and the Bunnies with an opportunity just before half time. 15 metres out, 25 metres out from the Broncos line. Just to the left of the uprights on this near side. O'Hare at dummy half. Mendonca to Dingo.
3.
Taken down by Raymond.
He's held there.
Around the tackle of Atchison. They go to McCartney, goes flat to Rasmussen. Charging it forward, the big second rower, pumping the legs. Hunt takes him down. O'Hare to Ryan, inside to McCartney. The number 13 is playing well so far in this opening half. Inside the Broncos 10. Final tackle to Ryan, who's going to put it high. Doesn't get any real depth on it. Mendonca comes down with it, but wrapped up in a good tackle. And that'll be a handover to the Broncos.
1. Release. Held. Up now.
Malachi Bergen taking it forward up into the
Held there.
tackle of Jai Collins. Raymond to Tuss. Charging it forward with a lot of power, almost getting that right arm free.
Let him go.
Had Hastings on his inside. Walker. Bergen once again looking to bend that line and
4.
get into the Rabbitohs backfield. Good quick play the ball as well. Ellison, long ball to Hastings, who gives it short. They find Kelly.
5.
Up on him early is Thomas Mendonca. Slow play the ball from Joey Kelly as well. Tuss kicks this time. Finds a bit of space in behind Chaz Dingo. Once again, it's rolling towards that back touchline. It holds up this time. Dingo has to play at it and does well to get back out into the field of play. And a good chase from the Broncos as well. And they hold the Rabbitohs deep down inside their own 20.
Held. 2.
So final tackle of the half. As it's taken down, it's the Rabbitohs going into the sheds at half time. 12 points to 6 over the Broncos. Welcome back to Coffs Harbour for this Monday night round 7 SRL action. It's the Rabbitohs leading at half time, 12 points to 6. 2 tries to 1 in the first half. Relatively quiet first half from Chaz Dingo. Arguably their player of the season for season 2 for South Sydney. 7 tries. Was equal second in the competition up until Chance Bunce scored 2 tries earlier on tonight. So he finds himself in third in behind Eli Barnes, who's on 8. Chance Bunce on 9. Top performance this year for the Rabbitohs. Have to say Jordan Williams has been one of their standouts. He's actually off to the Panthers in season 3. He's had 8 tackle breaks in the last 6 games, but he's had 2 injuries as well, so really suffering from some unfortunate injuries. He's got his right leg heavily strapped here this afternoon. Broncos with the ball in the first half, and Cooper Gronk's been forced over the far touchline. So an early unforced error from the Broncos, the young rookie unable to stay inside the field of play. And that's not the start the Broncos would have been hoping for. So restarted from the scrum, Liam Ryan will take it up. 42 points so far this season for Liam Ryan, 4 assists. But he has had 4 errors. Most errors for a half in the competition, as there's a forward pass from the play the ball here from South Sydney. Aaron O'Hare just finding his second rower overrunning the pass, and the Broncos get the ball back after the Cooper Gronk ran it out early. They go to Theo Scott. 21 metres out, just on this near side of the field. Atchison looks to run from dummy half, then they give it out. And they find Walker. So a good opportunity here for the Broncos. Bergen's been playing well so far in this game here this afternoon. Dixon wrapped up a good tackle from Aaron O'Hare. Atchison to Allison. Charging it forward, the big prop forward. Rolled onto his back. And referee agrees, and we won't go upstairs to have a look at it. Instead, we'll take it back to the 10 for a restart. Final tackle. Raymond gets it away. It's good kick from Levi Raymond. Chase is coming through from the Broncos, but Tyson Clay gets up well and takes it down with Broncos players all around him. So it's a good take from the big winger. And the Rabbitohs start to break their way down the field. Tyson Clay, another player who's making his way from the Rabbitohs for season 3, heading to Manly, linking up with Sam Herbin and Chaz Dingo. Rabbitohs losing a couple of big names next season. As Liam Ryan puts that one a little bit too deep. Good pressure from the Broncos coming through, forcing Ryan a little bit off balance on that kick. And putting it over the back of the in goal. As they spread it wide, they go to Veretto, but Veretto couldn't hold on to it. Collins has cleaned up. And once again, the Broncos give away another penalty. Now there's the Rabbitohs who have given it away. Throwing the ball around at the moment, both sides. And giving away possession. Again, this time it's the Broncos. So 3 errors in a matter of a minute. Both sides a little bit nervous possibly at the moment. The Broncos 2 errors. Putting themselves under a lot of pressure as O'Hare, dummy half. They go to Edwards. Looking to snipe his way through like he did last week against the Warriors. O'Hare from dummy half. Aaron O'Hare has just jumped from the dummy half position and gone straight through some feeble Broncos defence. The Rabbitohs grabbed their third try of the night. Two tries in 2 weeks for Aaron O'Hare. Really catching the Broncos defence off guard. Many regarded Aaron O'Hare as the leading hooker in the competition. And he really showed a clean pair of heels getting away from the play of the ball at speed. Liam Ryan converts 3 from 3 so far tonight for Ryan. 18 points to 6. Back live on SRL TV. Round 7 action from Coffs Harbour has the Rabbitohs out in front at the moment, 18 points to 6. 50 minutes gone in this one. Try to Aaron O'Hare, his second of the season. And the Rabbitohs out to a comfortable 12-point lead, still 30 minutes to go. In this fixture, the Rabbitohs obviously looking to wrap up the minor premiership. Other games need to go their way, but a win here tonight would go a step in the right direction as Ryan just manages to get the kick away, almost giving away a penalty as Kelly comes through on the fly and picks it up to the halfway line for the Broncos. Centre field, they play the ball through Allison. Finds a gap, takes it, offloads as well to Raymond. So a good charge by Jackson Allison. Takes his side deep into Rabbitohs territory. Pete Veretto to play the ball 7 metres out. Left to Justin Plays. Spots a gap, almost gets through, but the Rabbitohs players swarm on him and they've forced him over onto his back. Almost going in there, Justin Plays. They restart to Raymond. Raymond's been hitting a big tackle and he's put it down. Tackle on him by, it looked to have been Viggo Rasmussen. Cameron Reynolds has made his way onto the park. Have to wait and see where he's playing. It looks like he's out on that left wing at the moment. In fact, yes, he's come on for Luka Moscow. Cameron Reynolds. Ash Crutches on as well. Looks like Aaron O'Hare has gone to the bench. So a bit of a reshuffle for the Rabbitohs in the second half. And an unforced error there has given possession to the Broncos on the halfway line. They'll pack down for the scrum. A real unforced error there from Jai Collins. Pete Veretto will set it up centre field on the Rabbitohs 40. These two sides have met once before. It was the Broncos winning at Suncorp Stadium that night, 18 points to 6 over the Rabbitohs. Sam Hodgson going in for 2 tries. Theo Scott grabbed 1. Atchison runs from dummy half, trying to copy Aaron O'Hare, but he's wrapped up in a good tackle. Only a couple of metres out. They go right to Dixon. Dixon's going to put it high. Over to the wing they go. Cameron Reynolds just towers above everyone. No real contest there. Arguably the largest player in the SRL, along with Pete Veretto, and he just absolutely towered over any Broncos player that was around. And a good set so far here by the Rabbitohs, making their way into the Broncos half. Jai Collins charging it forward off a good flat ball from Crutcher. Crutcher's come on. He's looking pretty energetic at dummy half at the moment. They go left to Ryan. Slattery this time. Just outside the Broncos 10. Long ball, Ryan, he goes long as well to Edwards. 7 metres out. Final tackle through the hands to Ryan. Testing kick for Cooper Gronk. Going up for its Mendonca. Had the hands free, but didn't really have any support around him. Rasmussen was on his outside. Chose to hold on to it. And Kelly gets a good quick play the ball and darts down that far touchline. To Hastings. The big Englishman's had a quiet game so far. Through the hands, Veretto out to Joey Kelly once again. His final game in Broncos colours. Off to the Parramatta Eels in season 3. As Atchison breaks up through the middle, but he's given it away. Thomas Mendonca hits him in a big tackle and tidies it up. Another error for the Broncos.
Right, here's tackle 1. He's held there.
Crutcher goes left this time. Dingo met in a good tackle by Gronk. Has had a quiet game so far, Chaz Dingo. Have barely mentioned his name, in fact.
3, back with me. Held.
Very quiet in that fullback role. Through the hands this time to Prakash. A good hole run by Lennox Prakash, taken down by Allison, but he makes an extra couple of metres. Short side they come, through the hands of Collins to Guys. Wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Levi Raymond. Crutcher, final tackle back to Edwards. A big towering kick out to the wing of Kelly. And a good chase from the Rabbitohs outside backs, led by Cameron Reynolds. And taken down by Thomas Mendonca. So the Rabbitohs just playing controlled football at the moment. Nothing too flashy. Obviously trying out a couple of combinations with Cameron Reynolds on that far touchline. Isaac Edwards in the halves. Aaron O'Hare looks to have come back on the second row. Broncos still waiting for their bench players to make their way onto the park. Malachi Bergen has had a great game for the Broncos. Running for over 90 metres, 15 runs. In only 60 minutes they put it high. Logan Guys goes up for it. No real chase for the Broncos this time as well. So things starting to tick down now, and the season's coming to a close as we enter into the final quarter of the game and the final quarter of the Broncos season.
3, back with me. Held.
Rabbitohs finding easy metres early in the set, making their way into Broncos territory as Rasmussen will play the ball. Guys from a pass of Liam Ryan has put it down. And the Broncos come away with it.
2, hands away. He's held there.
Bergen once again busy in the second row after coming off the bench last week. 38 minutes, 6 runs for 54 metres. Surprising that the Broncos have let him go for season 3. Really is one of their standout performers, and he's a A good utility as well as Dixon puts a little kick into Reynolds, and Reynolds has let it bounce. In fact, Reynolds has showed a good pair of heels. Gets away from Veretto, the old goose step. Leaves Pete Veretto clutching at grass. And a good return from Cameron Reynolds, and that's a matchup we're going to see a little bit more of in the future. Cameron Reynolds and Pete Veretto, obviously they're coming face to face in the ring in the SRL fight night, scheduled for pre-Christmas action. Other fights to take part that night. Jai Collins set to take on Corey Bell. Liam Ryan taking on Charlie Butler. So see 3 Rabbitohs players set to jump into the ring in a couple of weeks' time. Main event, Luke Malkus, the Cowboys captain, taking on John Nanai, the Warriors captain. That's an absolute heavyweight title fight we are looking forward to seeing. But Cameron Reynolds and Pete Veretto, the 2 biggest players in the SRL, set to lock gloves and just throw absolute bombs inside the ring as the Rabbitohs have given away a penalty and Dixon finds the sideline. So 22 metres out here for the Broncos. Need to score in this set, you'd have to say. Under 13 minutes remaining in the game. Centre field for plays to play the ball to Tuss. Straightening it up into contact with Collins, who takes him down well. A good quick play the ball though. They go inside this time to Justin Plays. Powering his legs towards the line as well. They go flat this time to Bergen as the Rabbitohs defence come up early on him and force him backwards. Atchison this time inside the Plays once again. The leg drive is going. Awesome run from Justin Plays, but he's been rolled onto his back. And once again, good Rabbitohs defence. On the 10, final tackle as Veretto comes charging through. And it's just bobbled up into the hands of Ash Crutcher. And I don't know what Pete Veretto was doing there. Just looking to lead from the front, possibly. Just also a little bit of frustration possibly brewing in. Just wanting to get his hands on the ball and just barge his way over. But a real uncharacteristic run from Pete Veretto and giving away that knock on. Rabbitohs again making meters up through the middle early in the tackle count. It's O'Hare busting off one tackle. Collins goes inside to Dingo. What feels like his first line break of the game. He'll play the ball 15 metres out centre field to Rasmussen. Rabbitohs looking to wrap things up here at Coffs Harbour as Rasmussen will play the ball 10 out. They go to Ryan, who looks to run the ball for a moment, decides to put it high, and Cooper Gromp goes up and takes it down. But for a moment there, Liam Ryan, I thought he was going to take the line on. Last moment deciding to put it high. So near side, Bergen juggles for a moment. Got the short ball, wasn't really expecting it. Does well to hold on to it. Lucas Burns is on the park for the Broncos. Bergen to play the ball. Looking to kick on the 5th is Raymond. Deep down there is Clay waiting for it. Brings it back, accelerates up into contact as well. Levi Raymond and Tyler Clay going head to head. Clay not moving an inch side to side, just gets straight up into contact. Good run from the big winger. Dingo once again taking it forward. Counting down, 7 minutes remaining. 7 minutes remaining in the Broncos season. The minor premiers from season 1 as Jai Collins busts through the middle, looking to drive his way over the line. Pete Veretto takes him down. Final tackle for the Rabbitohs. Crutcher goes left to Ryan, does well to get the ball away, and Jai McCartney's come away with it. And the big lock forward has gone over for the Rabbitohs' 4th try of the afternoon. His 3rd try of the season, Jai McCartney. And that will surely wrap it up as Ryan took it to the line. And a little kick at the last second. And McCartney just came through off his shoulder. Barretto caught out in the centre field. And the Rabbitohs seal the deal here at Coffs Harbour. 22 points to 6, kick to come. They will go top of the SRL table. No problems for Liam Ryan. He maintains his 95% success rate this season. But it's been a frustrating year for the Broncos. Just never really getting things started. Obviously starting the season with a loss to the Parramatta Eels at home. Went down 24 points to 18. They took on the Raiders in round 2. They got their first win of the season over Canberra, winning 22 points to 18. As Luka Moscow once again has got into an open space, and he's going to go under the posts for the Rabbitohs, who have broke away, and they are running away with this game. They cross for their 5th try, 2 and 2 minutes, and Moscow's 2nd of the afternoon. It came from a good Chaz Dingo break, and Luka Moscow finishes it off. Really struggling to score points this season. The Broncos, 22 points was the most they scored in a game, and that was their win against the Raiders. They went down round 3 to the Cowboys, magic round at home, 24 points to 14. Then it was a loss to the Warriors in round 4, and then a heavy defeat to the Panthers in round 5, 24-0. Arguably one of their best performances of the season last week against the Seagulls. But a second half performance from Kane Chapman-Kenny put the nail in the coffin. And their season was over after going down 32 points to 18. Only 1 win so far this season for the minor premiers. Meanwhile, for the Rabbitohs, we all remember the opening game of the season against the Seagulls. All the hype of the Rabbitohs, and many calling the Seagulls possible wooden spooners. Rabbitohs getting out of trouble. That one 36 points to 34. A narrow loss to the Panthers in round 2, 7 points to 6, and then a win against the Raiders in round 3. They had a good win against the Cowboys in round 4. Dominant win a couple of weeks ago, 24 points to 4. And then another 1 point loss to the Parramatta Eels just 2 weeks ago. And they came back last week and put on an absolute masterclass against the Warriors. Probably their best performance of the season. Warriors haven't been in the best of form over the last couple of weeks, but they went out to win that 28 points to 6. 2 tries to Chaz Dingo, who really has been their standout performer this season, as the Broncos are forced into touch once again. This time it's Lucas Burns just getting an elbow over the sideline. Mendonca will take it forward, but it's the Rabbitohs who are going to wrap this one up. 30 points to 6 at the moment. Dingo wants more. He's been managed well so far tonight by the Broncos, but they haven't had enough punch. As Ryan breaks away down the far touchline, gets away as well, and Liam Ryan will go in under the post for the Rabbitohs and cap off quite a fantastic performance in the second half for the South Sydney side. And they will go top of the table, and with results going their way, will be the minor premiers for season 2. We'll have to await the Parramatta versus North Queensland game tomorrow night. And Liam Ryan will convert his own try, 36 points to 6. The last 15 minutes that the Broncos will want to forget. But it's farewell to Joey Kelly, the captain for the Broncos for the past 2 seasons. Has done an absolute fantastic job at the helm of the Broncos. Also farewell to Jackson Ellison, who has been one of his leaders in the side. Raymond will get the game back underway, but the siren has sounded in the background. And Aaron O'Hare will end the game. The Rabbitohs winning 36 points to 6. An absolute dominant performance in the final couple moments. Running out. The score really blew out in the last 15-20 minutes. But we will wait to see if results can go their way. But the Rabbitohs could possibly be wrapping up the minor premiership for season 2. 6 tries to 1. A real dominant performance for the South Sydney side. 26 completions out of 30. Meanwhile for the Broncos, 11 errors. Only 17 of 25 sets completed. Line breaks, 39 for the Rabbitohs, 27 for the Broncos. Just outclassed in that second half, the Broncos. We hope you've enjoyed this Monday night action in the SRL. Join us tomorrow night. We are not done with yet. We've got 2 massive games tomorrow night. And we hope you join us live on SRL TV for the Simulation Rugby League Premiership Round 7 action.